Heyo! Alright everybody, welcome back. As always, I'm Sean, this Uneducated Gamer. Continuing our Football Manager 2015 series, and it's been a little while since last played the game, but I've had a kind of fun day playing through the month of January. We are now in 2015 in the actual game. There's a few things we can go through. What will I start with? Right, let's go back to December and the awards and everything. You can see here I won Manager of the Month for December. We actually won all of our games that particular month, which was cool. And not only that, but we also had Jordan Robertson win Player of the Month, second player this season to win that. Daniel Roberts got it the first month of the season in August. And Daniel Roberts has been awesome this last month as well. He's been trashing everyone, so hopefully he can get himself another individual award there. More than deserved. We have also gone and gotten ourselves a new staff member. I went to the board and asked if we could get in. Now we have also changed our expectations for the season. Our minimum expectation, they came to me asking if I wanted to review our season goals, and they've changed to we want to win the league. We're sitting on top of the division. I think we're 5 points clear or something. And they came to me and said, "Do you want to change your position?" I said, "Yep, sure, let's do it." They gave me a little bit of extra wage budget to use, and I used that to renew some contracts as well. So if we have a look at everyone's contract status at the moment, you can see we've got 4 players whose contracts are due to expire at the end of the season. I think that the squad has done pretty well, and we've also had some really good results in cup competitions that have kind of made me think maybe we should try and keep the majority of the squad together. So most of the people here are on 2-year deals now, with the exceptions of Birchall, Rogers, Dennis and Waldron. Mainly the reasons that they aren't on any better money is because they all want too much. Adam Birchall, his form's dropped off significantly. I don't think he's scored in like his last 7 or 8 games, but he still wants to be earning £600 a week, and I'm not going to pay it. I think that's just ridiculous. Paul Rogers wants way more money than he's worth. He's our backup right back. I feel like we could probably pick someone up who's a bit better than him. And Nigel Sader's really made that position his own over the course of the season, so I'm happy to use him again next season. Louis Dennis, I'd actually like to keep Louis Dennis, but he wants too much money. He's been really good in terms of contributing with goals and assists, particularly over the last few months with Anthony Cook being injured. And Danny Waldron, who's the current captain, I probably will still look to try and retain him. He just wants too much money for right now, and I can't really justify giving it to him because we have Al Bangura on our books who's way better, and you don't want to retain everyone. I'm sure there's 4 players we could bring in to strengthen the side. Having said that though, there are some people that are getting frustrated with their lack of opportunities. Sam Sodje, Amenko Ismaili, I think it's Ismaili, let's go with that, and Pinnick are all getting frustrated by not playing that much. But when your team's winning, what can you do? So our new expectation has also led me to want to go and get another coach. So I'm going to ask the board about that now. I'll just say it'd be handy if we could add extra coaches to spread the workload out and enhance performance. They've agreed with that, which is awesome. I'm going to try and get a goalkeeping coach in. And the way I'll do that is just by going to staff search, attributes, goalkeepers is at least 15. And we'll see what comes up. Len Bond. Yeah, he might be alright. See if we can just bring him in on a coaching deal. Doesn't want too much money, so that's cool. We'll see if we can bring him in. It'd be awesome to have someone to cover, specific coaching and things. We do have a pretty good coaching setup at the moment, if I'm being brutally honest with you, especially at this level. But I think that's more just because I'm doing so much of it, despite being set up as a tactical manager. But if we can bring in someone to take care of the goalkeeping side of it, I can focus more on like fitness and tactics, and then we'll have Neil Smith, Hugo Langton, and Nick McDonald take care of the other 3 or 4 or whatever it is there. Anyway, that's the idea. We'll see what happens. Our results. It's been a pretty good month for us. Since the turn of the year, actually, we've been pretty awesome. 2-0 victory against Bath. We were supposed to play Basingstoke in this week here, but the game got postponed. It has meant we've played pretty much a full month of, midweek games, but it was going to happen at some point, and the fact that we've continued through the FA Trophy has sort of meant that we had to play those midweek fixtures. But a good 2-0 victory against Bath, who were a pretty good side at the time. I think they were sitting around 5th or 6th. And we absolutely trashed them in this game. We went to their ground and just had 22 shots against them. We could have scored way more than we did. Nearly 60% of the ball. Danny Waldron ended up getting player of the match. A few goal scorers. Reece Prestige, Jordan Robertson, who's had a pretty good month in terms of converting chances. Though a fair few have been from the penalty spot. And Bath actually aren't a terrible team. They've got some good wingers and a good forward in Ross Stern. So, no, what is it? It's Pratt. Pratt and Stern, they're their 2 good players. So I was pretty happy with that, especially in a away win. Then we had our match up against Forest Green in the FA Trophy. Forest Green are actually in the Vanarama Conference, and they're one of the 3 sides battling it out for the remaining playoff position. So they're a good team. Eastleigh and Gateshead are kind of running away with that one a bit, but I was thrilled to win that. We actually went 4-1 up in this game. We thumped them in the first half, and then whatever their manager said to them at the halftime break clearly did the trick. Louis Dodds got one back in first half stoppage time to kind of make it a closer 2-1 game. We came flying out of the blocks. Adam Moller got another goal. Then Daniel Roberts put us 4-1 to the good, and I think the subs that I made sort of took away from it a little bit. We had some players go off injured. Bangura picked up a knock. Birchall picked up a knock. And I think Jordan Robertson also, Joe Anderson did in this game as well. He's actually been out for the majority of this month, so Daniel Day's been playing. But we managed to hold on and get the 4-3 victory. They were the better side in terms of shots. Just didn't really get them on target, but we forced a lot of shots from distance. In fact, a lot of their goals came from distance, to be truthful. But to hold a lot of the ball like that against a team in the division above us, particularly a team that might even get promoted out of the division above us, is pretty good. Then we had a bit of a hangover only 3 days later. I didn't really rest the team as much as I probably should have. We played Havant and Waterlooville at home, and it was a pretty even game. 3-1 doesn't make it look like it, but we still had more of the ball. We just really didn't do as well as we should have with our chances. And again, I didn't rotate that well, so you can see here everyone's condition was pretty low by the end of the game. Brian Stock got man of the match in that one. He got the first goal, and I think he got an assist as well. We really pushed in the second half to try and find the winner and an equaliser, and then hopefully a winner. And Ed Harris scored us on the break at the end there. You might remember him from The Truman Show, a famous actor. I can't think of anything else that he's in. Then we had a chance to get revenge on one of the teams that beat us in the first half of the season, Ebbsfleet. Always a tough game to play. We played them at their ground and managed to get a good 2-1 win. Goals either side of the half. We were already 2-0 up when Matt Fish got sent off, and that kind of assured us the win in that game. Moses Adamola got player of the match, got a goal, and I think he also won the penalty as well. Jordan Robertson duly converted. He doesn't miss many of the penalties, which is good, and thankfully we managed to rotate our squad a little bit better in that game, so not as much of a hit condition-wise, but they were in the middle of a big fixture, they were in the middle of a fairly hectic period of their fixtures as well, so it was probably a good time to play them. Nice to get a clean sheet, and then we had a little run here with a couple of clean sheets in a few games. A 1-0 win at home to Basingstoke. Jack Holland with a goal from the corner was enough to see him get man of the match. Pretty average game, if I'm being honest with you. James Harper looked very good, blazed a lot over the bar. You might remember him from his days playing at Reading and Sheffield United in both the Premier League and Championship. And just incredible stats here. Natural fitness 20, stamina 20. He will run all day. He's on a 2-year deal. He's already 34, so I'm not going to worry about trying to bring him in. But he ran the show from the middle for them, so I was pretty happy with that. And you can see it's pretty even here with the shot count and everything. We had a little bit more possession, but I guess you just chalk that up to us playing at home. Then we had Maidenhead. Maidenhead actually played against us with 3 of our ex-players, 3 players that I got rid of at the start of the season. Joseph Dubois played as a right wing-back for them, Fasane in the middle, and Rob Swain at centre-back. They also had DJ Campbell, who some of you might remember from his days at Birmingham, Blackpool, and where else was he? QPR. So a player that's been transferred for millions of pounds over the course of his career, and then all of a sudden he drops down from Millwall in the Championship to Maidenhead, and he's on no money. So we might add him to the shortlist for the end of the year if we see... If Adam Birchall does end up leaving, I wouldn't mind bringing in someone like DJ Campbell. He'd be 34 then, but you can see he's still got a fair bit mentally and technically that he can do there. He can finish. He just doesn't really have the pace, but that's fine. I'm not worried about it. We'll keep an eye on him. He's only on £1 a week, so I'm not sure exactly how that's working, but he might be one that we look to bring in. And a pretty convincing 2-0 victory there. Had more shots, got a fair amount of them on target, more possession and everything. Their one shot on target was a header from a corner, I think. It wasn't particularly good. And Adamola was again a beast in this game. I think he actually won the penalty and then Robertson converted again, and he got the goal in the 48th minute to sort of set us on our way. Season's continuing the FA Trophy. We're through the 4th round now. We're going to play Barrow in a couple of weeks, which should be a good game. They're 3rd in the Conference North, so they are very much involved in the promotion and actually the championship picture there. So it'll be cool. It'll be a good little barometer to see how much stronger the Conference North is than the Conference South, but yeah, we'll see how we go. And then last game out, a really good 4-1 victory over Chelmsford, however you pronounce it. They got a goal to make it 3-1 late in the game. It was just sloppy play from the corner, to be honest with you, and I just made subs, so it may have been my fault. I may have done it at the wrong time. Jordan Robertson with player of the match there. Louis Dennis was also excellent off the bench. In a rare start for him, but Anthony Cook had picked up a little bit of a knock as well. I think he got 2 assists and Robertson got 2 goals. Of course, one from the penalty spot as well. But yeah, that brings us up to now. So a busy month. Fair bit's going on there. And now we're going to play Hayes and Yetting away from home. They are currently sitting... Where are they sitting? 7th, so they're still involved in the playoff picture. A win here could see them leapfrog Ebbsfleet, Bath, Sutton United and go into 4th spot. So still very much an important part of their year. We are 11 points clear currently, but you've got to keep in mind Boreham would have 2 games in hand on us. So that could... I'm going to treat it like it's a 5-point gap, because they're a good team and they've got some really good strikers, some informed strikers, so I'll have to have a look at that. I didn't rest anyone after the last match. It was only 3 days ago, so we'll have to keep an eye on how our players have gone. And I might see what Neil Smith has to say here. He's gone with Robertson up front, which I'm fine with. Daniel Day is going to have to continue at left back because Joe Anderson is fortunately still injured for 10 days or so. I'm going to play Prestige as a deep line playmaker. We'll continue with that back four that's been excellent for us so far this season. Seb Brown's back in goal. He missed a few of those games, particularly the Forest Green game. We had James White deputising and some no-name player on the bench, and it kind of showed. Like some of their goals, you'd expect Seb Brown might have done a little bit better with them than James White did. He pushed a couple into the side netting and that sort of thing, but that's fine. You've got to rotate your squad every now and again. I think he's probably grateful for the appearances, if I'm being honest. And hopefully that means that he'll be a little bit more settled, having broken into the squad as a teenager and happy to stay on for another year, which saves me a headache at the end of the year. I'm going to play Bangura in this one ahead of Danny Waldron, though Danny Waldron has been excellent over the last month. I just think Bangura gives us a little bit more maybe going forward. He does contribute with more goals and assists, I feel, than Danny Waldron does. And I'll chuck a winger on the bench just so then we've got cover for each of the positions. So Soldier will cover the back line, Waldron will cover the middle too, Pinnock will cover the wings, and Birchall will cover up front. That seems pretty good to me. Hayes and Yetting, I think they're still managed by Phil Babb. We might have actually played them before already in a video, I can't honestly remember, but go into YouTube, check the search engine above, type in Phil Babb goalpost, and then yeah, you can thank me later. Right, so stick to the formula. Usually calm at home. We're away today, so assertively I'm just going to say pick up where you left off last time. Al Bangura seems to have responded well. I actually don't think he started the last game, so that's an interesting response from him. And love to get a win here and, you know, continue the pressure. Put the pressure on Boreham Wood. Make their games in hand mean something. We do actually get to play them as well before the end of the season. And while it's not the most interesting thing in the world if we run away with it or anything like that, it still would be cool to, you know, beat that 77-point mark that the real-life Bromley side set for us for this season. All right, Roberts comes inside here, has a shot from distance, but that's not pretty. He probably could have used the ball a bit better there, but we've had more of the ball than them in the open half now. They're yet to have a shot, so that's pretty good. We haven't had many yet. Oh, there you go. As soon as I said it, I've jinxed it and they've had one. Probably just popped from halfway to spite me. Getting towards halfway now, not a lot going on. Jesus, every game that I seem to do live just seems to be the most boring game of the year. We don't get any like 6-goal thrillers or anything like that. Maybe instead of just doing the last game of each month, I should try and pick like a marquee matchup for the month. But having said that, January's one would have been hard to do because we had that revenge game against Ebbsfleet. We had the game against Forest Green, who are an entire division above us. It would have been a tough month to pick one. Days cleared the ball forward. Ruby looks to play it in. Higgins to whoever that was. Oh, horrible touch there. Roberts has played Robertson through. Can he find the finish? No, it's a good saving challenge from whoever that defender was there. Adam Oller to whip the corner in now, and does. Lager goes up, hits the deck to Holland. Square ball to Roberts. Holland with the ball now. Looks for Adam Oller. Can he find a ball in? No, he's gone all the way back to Sadu. And that's the end of the highlight there. A scrappy bit of play. Prestige with the corner in now. Day goes up. It's headed away, but only as far as Adamola. He finds Prestige now. Can he get the ball in? It's headed away again. Comes to Adamola. Square ball to Cook, and the goalkeeper forces that one around the post. Not a great save though. Prestige with the corner again. Holland was in the area, but nothing doing. Prestige squares the ball to Roberts. Finds Malaga. All the way back to Sadu. I think he tried to strike that ball. Good tackle. And he's going to go all the way back to the keeper, but that's the end of that highlight. So we're having pressure, but it's mostly from corners that aren't really leading to anything. And I assertively tell everyone, keep going, you can still win out there today. There's a couple of players that have responded pretty well to that. Looks like Prestige and Cook have both picked up yellow cards. And doesn't look like Jordan Robinson's having the greatest game of his career, so that might inform our subs a little bit once we get to the hour mark. Alright, a little bit of a chop there from Sadu. Shulton with free kick now. Nah, that's the end of the highlight. Okay, we are rocketing towards the hour mark, and not a whole lot's been going on for either side, so not the most entertaining fixture in the world. Day has a throw-in now. Plays it short to Roberts. Can he find the ball in? Or looks towards Robertson, but it's hacked away by the Hazen-Yetting backline. Holland comes inside to Bangura and squares it to Prestige. Back to him again. Nice little triangle there to Roberts. Can Robertson find the finish now? And he does. He's in good form at the moment. Top of the 18-yard box. His 20th goal of the season. It was actually 2 games ago that he overtook Adam Birchall as our leading scorer for the season, and I think he just needed to get himself fit and ready to play. Holds a man off well. Ruby can't do anything about it, and he rockets that one into the top left-hand corner. Good strike. I guess that's a danger. He was only on a 6.3 at half-time, but he's one of the better finishers in the team, so when he gets those chances, you kind of really want him to come to him. Well, I thought Prestige might win that one there. Collins with a square ball to Shulton here. Finds a strike, and thankfully Brown gets his whole body behind it and holds well. Oh, okay, I might watch that highlight before I do any subs. Prestige with the ball forward to Robertson. Oh, he had a man left, but held the ball too long. Kennedy looks for Collins over the top. Brown's dropped the ball, and Malaga hacks away, but it's hit Sadu. Collins being forced backwards, all the way to Ruby in central defence. Sadu tries to clear, it hits Shulton. Collins square ball again, and he finds Atwell, who arrived late at the back stick. That's an hour gone. His first goal of the season, which feels like every goal we concede is someone's first goal of the season, but what can you do? I'm going to switch Adamola to the right and bring Cook off. He's not having a great game, and also he's on a yellow. I'm going to swap Bangura with Prestige. I'm going to take Prestige off because he's on a yellow as well. Jordan Robertson found the finish for us earlier, so I'll give him a little bit more time. Make a difference. Assertive. Make a difference. Let's see if Waldron or Pinnock can contribute with any sort of goals or assists in the last half an hour. Be very disappointed to draw this game. I'm not really a massive fan of the way that I've structured it, but I feel it's easy to record in terms of like just doing one match a month. Like if this was going for 5 seasons, you don't want 50 episodes every season. People will just get sick of the content and they'll skip ahead, and it'll be a really boring series. So I'm kind of using the same format that a bunch of other YouTubers do. However, I realise how ridiculous it looks. There are so many people that probably just like save and replay games and all that sort of thing. I realise how ridiculous it must look when I have won 4 games this month and then randomly I'm just like struggling to beat Hazen-Yetting, who are in middle of the table side. Adamola with the corner in now though. Can we find a winner? It's headed away by Shulton. Well, he cuts down Roberts from behind, but we're not going to see the highlight there. Okay, we might have a highlight here. It's cleared away. Holland cuts it out. He has time and space. Finds Roberts' feet. Everett has gone straight through the back of him, and that is a straight red card. I'm going to bring on Birchall. I'm going to tell him, can he find the goal? Assertively make the difference. He looks pretty happy. Everyone's pretty happy. Our morale's been good the entire season. All right, 10 minutes to go. Can we find a winner here? We're now 10 men. Oh, Birchall, horrendous. Don't think Robertson would have done better, but Shulton with a free kick now. He's put that one out. 86th minute. Brown plays a ball out today. We're going to get one more highlight in here. Oh, Pinnock's in behind. Can he find the finish? Oh, good save from Kisho. Got his angles right. Adamola with the corner now. We've been wasteful from corners. Surely there's one less person in there marking. We should be able to find something. 3 minutes at a time. Can we find a winner here? 10 seconds to go. Kitcher with the long ball forward. I dare say that's going to be it. Day plays it forward to Pinnock. It's cut out by Farrell. Comes to Kennedy. That's frustrating. A 1-1 draw. Our 5th draw of the season. Assertively, far from pleased. I'm just going to tell Jack Holland he was unlucky. And thankfully he's come back around. He's been very good this season. I don't want to be too critical of him. So there you go, 28 games played. We've got 12 to go in the season, won 19, drawn 5, lost 4. So we haven't been trashing everyone. Still 9 points clear, but Boreham Wood do have those 2 games in hand, so that could very quickly become 6 points. Looks like they've lost, actually, to Bath. So Bath have kind of done us a favour, but really, 13 shots to 5. They went down to 10 men. We should be finishing our chances, or at least creating better chances than that. Daniel Roberts was highlighted as a key player and also gets himself the Man of the Match award with an 8.4 and 1 assist. He didn't do too much in the highlights that we saw, so that's an interesting one, but I think he's been excellent over the last month. I dare say when I come and see you again in the next episode, he should maybe have won the Player of the Month award, but we'll have to check. Let's have a look at the individual glory and look at the stats for the players this season. So we've got average rating. Daniel Roberts has rocketed straight back up. He's caught Zane Banton, who flew out to a really early, massive lead. He was on like 8.5 or something a couple of months into the season. Joe Anderson as well, who unfortunately has been injured the last few weeks, also up in the top 5 for average ratings. Very clear that both these players are more than capable of playing at a higher division. So if we do get ourselves promoted, I'll definitely be looking to hold on to them. Jordan Robertson now outright second in the goals column, considering he only had about 8 or 9 around the Christmas period. He has been excellent in the last few weeks. Zane Banton was on 19 very early in the year, and maybe he got injured or something, but the goals have dried up for him, which is good. We have still got him on our shortlist for the end of the year. We might look at bringing him in if we don't retain Adam Birchall, but again, it depends on how much money he wants and things like that. Birchall's still 5th. With his 13 goals, been more than a contributor, but like I said, he hasn't scored in about 10 league games or something like that. Daniel Roberts, equal 3rd in the league for the assist with 9. Just excellent and miles ahead of the nearest player in terms of key passes as well. So maybe if he's surrounded by a bit better players who are a bit better at finishing, that would be even higher. Adam Island Robertson in shots on target, Bangura in yellow cards, not quite leading the league there, and Roberts and Robertson 5 and 4 player of the matches respectively. Seb Brown has moved to 2nd in terms of fewest goals conceded. Nathan Ashmore, at the start of the season, he's conceded like 4 goals in the first 10 games or something ridiculous like that. So Gosport have clearly fallen away in the second half of the year. But that's not really my problem. We have to focus on what we're doing, and we are top of the league, so I shouldn't complain really too much at all. There are still teams closer to us. It's by no means a foregone conclusion that we're going to win the league. We do have some exciting FA Trophy games coming up. I will see you again. It should be this Hemel Hempstead game here at the end of February. However, it might actually be an FA Trophy game, depending on how much further we get. If we beat Barrow, then I'm sure there'll be another game that pushes another game back or something like that. We'll see how we go. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying the series so far. If you have any feedback, chuck it in the comment section below. Be it positive or negative, I will do my best to respond to each and every comment or query or question that I get. If you have your own links to your own YouTube content, be it in Football Manager 2015 or any other game, put it in the comment section below. I'll head over and check it out and give it a like. But more than anything, I just appreciate your views. Thank you very much for watching, and I look very much forward to seeing you again in the next episode.